Just a quick message to those who start observing Ramadan next week. I want to start by saying, with respect and humility, I'm not Muslim, but I've worked with many people who observe Ramadan and those who also living with food addiction at the same time. This time of year can feel both deeply spiritual and sometimes a little bit frightening. Ramadan itself is a beautiful act of devotion, as fasting is a spiritual way to get a closer contact with God. And fasting is seen in many traditions. But when I've worked with people in the past and they've started off with, oh, Ramadan's such a struggle for me, I find it so hard, and that brings further shame to me because I'm not doing good enough during the Ramadan itself, I do like to make sure that they know that the challenge that they're facing isn't Ramadan, it's the modern food environment. When that fast is broken, that's where the challenge comes in. And if that resonates with you, I've got a couple of gentle considerations from a food addiction perspective that may be of use to you. First of all is when breaking the fast. So traditionally, the fast is opened with dates. And if dates are part of your practice, you might want to keep these to a minimum that feels right for your tradition. But then move on to eating something quickly high in protein, such as meat, chicken, fish, eggs or cheese. The reason for this is that the protein helps stabilise that hunger and reduces the risk of that sugar cascade, which is going to give us a dopamine hit and make our brain want more and more and more. The second one is for the meals outside of your fasting hours. Try to build your meals around protein, healthy fats and above ground vegetables. Try to keep the refined carbohydrates lower, and especially after a day of fasting, because then your body is going to be very sensitive to those sugar spikes and those dopamine hits, which are going to make you want more and more and more. The last tip I have for you is the spiritual piece. As I've said, fasting is a beautiful time to connect with God, but it can bring about that fear if you're a food addict. So if you're feeling that fear about how you might react around food when you break that fast, or you're carrying the fear of food obsessions during the fast, you don't have to carry that alone. Ramadan is the time of surrender. Tie your camel, do what you can, and then hand the rest over to God. And the last bit I have is, if you go on break, ladies, if you go on break during Ramadan, or if you become ill, anybody becomes ill during Ramadan and they feel they need to not fast those days, to help yourself, try to stay protein focused during those meals whilst you're on break. This is going to make returning to fasting feel much easier for you as well, rather than those dopamine spikes, sugar spikes up and down all the time. It's going to you'll drift into the fasting again and find that spiritual peace much quicker. But most importantly, if Ramadan brings up a struggle rather than peace, please know that you're not failing spiritually. Food addiction is a real condition, and the food environment that we live in isn't supportive of that. But support is available for you. We wish you a peaceful and blessed Ramadan, and if you need the support during or after, we are here.